Hi, my name is Marissa Yoda. I am the supervisor of social studies and world language in Rutherford, and I also teach AP European history. So here is a brief course description of AP European history. We start in about 1450 all the way through the present day, and we really take a dive into cultural, economic, political, and social developments, and really try and gain an understanding and take a look at how those developments have fundamentally shaped our world. This is a great class for anybody who's very interested in history, that's looking for a challenge, and also for anybody who was possibly thinking about studying history in the future. I've had a lot of former students that have come back to me and said that this really helped them a lot in their courses that they're taking in college. So here are the units of study. This is the content of the course, and you can see it spans all the way through to the present day. So this is the information that they will need to learn, but in addition to this content or this information, in the AP course, they're also being tested not only on this, but on being able to use historical thinking and reasoning skills. So these historical thinking and reasoning skills have been taught all as early as 6th and 7th grade, but obviously in the AP courses, this is taking a look at those skills at a college level. So being able to identify and explain historical developments, being able to analyze arguments and situation in primary and secondary sources. So it's taking a real look at primary and secondary sources and understanding what is the author claiming, what are they trying to say, why are they saying that, taking a look at the context, the historical context around the time period, the big picture, and what evidence are they using to support those claims. And then lastly, evaluating it, looking at the evidence, looking at the claims that the document or the author is making, what is the student's evaluation of that? Making connections between and among historical developments. I think this is one of the most important things in history, is making those connections. And what does learning about the Renaissance, how does that connect to us now in the year 2020? Or how has the Renaissance affected different periods within European history or even American history? So those connections are a big part of the class, drawing connections. Developing a written and oral argument and being able to support those arguments. So they'll have to do this in written form on the exam, but obviously in class we do a lot of discussion. So being able to orally get across their argument and being able to support it. And then the last three are just basic historical reasoning skills, being able to compare and contrast, looking to identify causes and effects, and then looking for continuities and changes over time within history. What things have stayed the same, what things have changed over time. So this is what the AP exam is designed to test them, not only on the content, but also on how they're using these skills. So the AP exam, anybody who takes AP in Rutherford is required to take the AP exam. Here the exam is made up of multiple choice questions, short answer questions, document-based questions, and a long answer question. So multiple choice, I'm sorry it gets cut off by my head, but it is worth or weighed at 40% of their grade. And that's 55 questions based on stimulus. So stimulus could mean a short excerpt from a primary or secondary source. It could be a chart, it could be a graph, it could be a piece of artwork, it could be a map. And then they'll have 3 to 4 multiple choice questions that pertain to that. Short answer questions are more of like a free response. And this is, they'll have to answer the question and draw from a prior knowledge, evidence in order to support their answer. Document-based question is, they'll get a sheet of documents. They will have to read it. They will have to develop a written argument or make a claim responding to the prompt, and then use those documents to support what their argument is or what their claim is. And then lastly is a long essay question, and that again is simply an essay question that they are going to apply their prior knowledge to. So how do they prepare for all of this? We do a lot of practice questions. We do a lot of writing. We do a lot of discussion. within class Socratic seminars, a lot of reading and, work with primary and secondary sources. That can be a reading, but it could also be artwork, it could be maps, graphs, things of that nature. So this is the grading scale for the course. I weigh tests at 40%. They'll have a unit test at the end of every unit. Quizzes are worth 40% of their grade, and quizzes could be essays, they could be Socratic seminars, they could be a reading quiz, they could be projects. Class participation is a big part of the class because, like I said, a lot of it is discussion based. So how they are, participating within class discussion or classwork, and then homework is worth 15% of the grade. So this is a really challenging course, but I believe that it's very beneficial. It's one of my most favorite things to teach. I'm very fortunate to be able to teach this, and this year is my biggest class that I've ever had with 17 students. So I'm very excited. So far, the conversation that we've had over the last week, everybody's been very engaged, and I think it's going to really be a great year, and I'm very looking forward to it. So thank you for viewing my video on AP European History.